Hello everyone, Dee Dee here, and we are here today to film my July favorites, some of the foundations of a very fiery power working that I'm putting together, some books, an opening of a new oracle deck. But anyway, some of these you have seen before. This is my amazing thunderstorm water that I was able to capture. There were 12 storms on the day that I captured this. I only got one of the storms because I was working, so I got that. Well, that is in the works. So that's the fiery, stormy side of water. And then I had offered to me or presented to me two different trees were dropping pitch balls. So this is from a Norwegian pine on my property, and there's not a lot of this because my Great Pyrenees put her paw in it, and so she brought it to me, and then I found where the rest was, but she had a huge glom of it in her paw, and so I had to put peanut butter all over her paw and massage the pitch out because oils help release pitch. And this amazing bundle, look how rich and dark and gluey this is. This is from a blue spruce, and this was also offered to me. Literally, it fell out of a tree right in front of me, or off of an old wound on the tree. And so the fiery side of earth, the fiery side of water, the fiery side of fire. I mean, there's a lot it could be, right? You could literally use fire or charcoal or something of that nature, but I was thinking of something that's more connected to my roots, and as a rock hound, I am very familiar with finding and locating lava stones, pumice, volcanic ash. That I was downwind from Mount St. Helens in 1980 when it blew, and also various pieces of obsidian. But this came into my life. This is a red pumice stone. So this is my fiery fire elemental piece for my working. So I've got fiery water, fiery earth, fiery fire, and fiery air is going to be a special incense that I'm working on. Now, my favorite deck weight or deck charge, deck focus is this wonderful stone. This is a beautiful piece of included quartz, included milky quartz, and this has black tourmaline included throughout it, and I put this in the sun. It gets fiery hot. It holds the heat for like 30 minutes when you bring it in. Boo boo. But I put it outside in the morning sun, and I bring it in and I use it to heat and sun charge and relax my deck. Right now it's sitting on my Daughter of the Moon color because I'm going to be working with that tomorrow morning. This is a new deck that I picked up on eBay. This is the Cosmic Initiation deck, and these are mandalas and sacred geometry, and it is sealed, OG sealed, so I'm gonna break into it. I'm not gonna leave this on my shelf. I might need to get the Ripper though. Ripper, hello. Where's Ripper? I'm trying to reach Ripper without cutting my fingers off. There we go. Come on. Come to mama. Okay, I'm not having much luck. This is being stubborn. There we go. We got a hole made now. I'm gonna take my glasses off. I can't see diddly. There, we got it. Come to mama. Alright. Let's see, is this going to be easy to open? Easy open. Okay, this has a box within a box. Here's the outer box. And this says it was, it's a US Games deck, and the other side says copyright 1992. I don't know if that's when it was printed. An interior secondary box. No, empty. So we have some bookage by Barbara DeLong. Alright. Mamaroneck, New York. So, she's got an astrological house spread. Whoa. Foundation spread. Look at this spread. Look at that. Look at that spread. That would take some time, right? A rapid fire reading, and then it's got a couple of sentences about each card, and a sample reading at the end. So, nice little book, interesting. It gives you something to work with. I'm not going to do a flip through right now. Just gonna get my hands on the deck because this is the unboxing. Printed in Belgium. These have a satin finish, not super glossy at all. The backs are lavender with white interlocking triangles. Okay. Let's just shuffle once. Twice. Those are going to break in nice. They've got a nice soft flap. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody. These are nice, wonderful, cool colors for the most part. Ooh, what was that card? There we go. Okay, this is a white card. It's called the Miracle. Interesting. I have to read up on this. So, I'm going to do a walkthrough in a separate video, so keep your eyes out for that. Here is the creator's card from Barbara DeLong. You can pause there and read that. Alright, so let's put this to the side so I don't lose track of it. Back there. Stay. Alright, now, next is a self-made deck, and this is, I'm not going to show the backs because that is not for release. This is a deck that I made from Printer Studio, and it is the 310 linen, and yeah, the mandalas just fell all over the place. This is a deck for study, and I'm not going to be using this anywhere, but I wanted to show you the shuffle on these cards. They are, they shuffle great. So this is the Printer Studio 310 linen. And you can have separate words, text, and images on the front and the back. So that's a wonderful thing to have. Next, books that I am using right now. Western art symbolism. This is really helping me re-engage with different decks and pulling the symbolism from an academic standpoint. So here, example, if there's a bag for money, or money bag, or a coin pouch in Christian iconography, it's attributed to Judas because he was a sellout, and it goes into various things. If there are balls or being juggled or anything like that, it from a Christian standpoint, it can be related to Saint Nicholas, or it can be in Celtic, it can be Maiden Mother Crone, the 3 stages of marriage, or it can be related to the Roman goddess Fortuna, etc. So there's lots of symbolism. If there are snakes in a cradle, for example, there were snakes in the cradle of Heracles at one point, and etc., etc. So it's really, it's just totally random symbolism. For example, mussels. Mussels in Greek mythology are part of the lore of Aphrodite. When Uranus lost his manhood parts in the ocean, and thus created Aphrodite, and she rose out of the sea foam, or rose out of the sea, I believe on a mussel shell. So, and they have relationships, different relationships to all of the muses and the museums, and myrrh, frankincense. It is wonderful. The bird quail, what quails mean in Western art, just rainbows. They talk about it being a sacred union, or the pathway for the goddess Iris, who was a messenger girl, or a girl Friday for the gods. rams, ravens. Gets into Egyptian icons as well. So I'm using this heavily when studying decks, and I love this book. It's by this, and it was published by Scribner's a long time ago. Let's see if it says 72. So this is almost as old as I am. But yeah, using this a lot. I suggest getting a book on Western art symbolism, especially for decks that are made by people with BFAs and MFAs. Totally helps figure them out. I picked this book up based on, or inspired by, Kelly from The Truth and Story had talked about this a couple of different times, and she has done a Wheel of the Year spread for me, and I just wanted to continue to study it a little bit more in depth, and this book has a lot of inspiration about Wheel of the Year and how all that works. So that's a book that I picked up. Normally I like to keep my books on Kindle, but I'm having a problem with spiritual books and finding them in Kindle versions. This just came today. I've only cracked it to read about Aphrodite, but yeah, so this is a new book on my shelf. Book of Goddesses and Heroines, Aphrodite. Now, some gods and goddesses have a paragraph. Minor goddesses. Yeah, and like there's 5 paragraphs on Brigid and Draste. Then they're on Boudica and Draste. And Draste and Draste and Draste. And Draste, who was Boudica, who I think was a true person. Yes, has a paragraph. Oh, and there were some leftovers in the book, which I haven't figured out yet. So there's what it says about Boudica. Anyway, so I haven't looked deeply, but I haven't found a entry that didn't have something as yet. So I don't know if it's I don't know that it's an encyclopedic approach, but so far it's gonna hold me well. Then on my Kindle, I tried samples of Benabel Wen's magnum opuses, and I decided to get them in my hands as well as on my Kindle. So I haven't started with Tower of Craft. I might not even get to that until like November, but I have started on Holistic Tarot, and feel like this book needs its own bookmark. That's what I feel like. But I love if they stand up on their own. They're broad enough and rigid enough still to stand up on their own. Alright, so those are my reading and reference favorites, a little bit of pre-working workings, and you know, we'll go from there. I think I'm going to do a second video with a favorite oracle and tarot for July and what I plan to use for August. Be happy, be healthy, learn something new every day. This is Dee Dee signing out. Ciao for now.